Delivering projects ahead of schedule and exceeding expectations feels fantastic. We live for those moments. But sometimes the desire to be helpful can lead us down a really dangerous path. And that is the path of unrealistic expectations and timelines. So let's talk about how to avoid this pitfall and keep your projects healthy. So, usually, our features that we're working on come from a product owner or a product manager. They're a little bit more strategic than a business analyst. But maybe you're talking to a stakeholder after a meeting or in Slack or in the hallway at work, and they're super stoked about an idea that they have for a new feature. So you're standing there, you're talking, and you're getting excited with them. You're like, yeah, this is great, this is great. So the lure of wanting to impress that stakeholder and just be seen as this go-to person, as the person that can really hook them up, right? It's really strong. For me, it's been really strong. I've done this in the past. So yeah. So you may just want to throw out a time. Oh, I can have that done for you in 2 weeks, right? When you can have it done. Well, first of all, you're a business analyst. And when you say you can have it done, that just means the requirements are done, but the stakeholder may not necessarily understand that. And next of all, it feels really good in the moment, but the problem is that you haven't considered the full picture. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with confidence and gusto, but you never, never, ever, never, 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 ever, ever, never, ever, never, 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 never give a stakeholder a timeline. Ever. Seriously. Just don't do it. Your standard answer should always be, wow, this is a great idea. Let me flush some things out, talk with the dev team, talk to my PO, see how this fits into our priorities. And then they can get you a timeline as to when we might be able to start the work on this if it gets implemented at all. So if you give that timeline up front, you're asking for a disaster. You haven't analyzed the project complexity. You haven't consulted with the dev team. You haven't checked the roadmap. There's things on that roadmap that you don't even know exist because you are not strategic, right? Your PO and your PM are a bit more strategic than you are. So you or your PO or PM need to collaborate with the dev team and the design team. Let's not forget this might need design, and create a realistic timeline. So you need to work with your project team to see if this new feature fits. You need to work with data to find out if this is the right feature at the right time. Is this revenue generating? How many customers will it affect? That kind of thing. You need to make data-driven decisions. But here are your essential skills for this balancing act. First off, just manage expectations proactively. Acknowledge that the stakeholder is excited and explain that creating this timeline or any kind of deadline is going to require some analysis on your part, and the part of your PO and PM. Mention factors like product complexity, the team availability, and potential risks. And that while at this time you can't give a time for implementation, you'll certainly follow up, or someone else on your team will. Now, as a side note, please make sure that you follow up. They were really excited about this. They came to you with it. As far as they're concerned, they have given you the stuff that was in their brain, and you are doing something with it. So in a meeting, they may eventually say, oh yeah, I talked to Sheila about it and she was totally down, and it'll probably be done in the next sprint, right? You want to stop those kinds of conversations from happening. And if you don't follow up, it's going to make you seem like you don't follow through, and you can damage your BA brand at work. So talk to your product team. There may be something else on the roadmap that you're completely unaware of that will either make this feature obsolete or it could take it to the next level. And if warranted and requested, work closely with your development team to understand the timeframes and the potential roadblocks. Now, this meeting with your dev team should just be something real quick. Hey, got an idea for this. How much do you think it'll take to implement? T-shirt size it. Very simple. But you need to get their input before creating any kind of high-level plan at all. So keep the stakeholders informed, whether it be you or your PO or your PM. Follow up, follow through, and let them know what's going on, even if that means that their feature is not going to be implemented. Transparency is the key to keeping that communication open and also building trust among your stakeholders. I freaking know how hard it is not just to throw out a timeline. Oh, I have it done in 2 weeks, right? You want to be helpful, and you get excited, and you like it when you see stakeholders excited because that means they're engaged. But It really is best to manage expectations, collaborate effectively with your team, and then communicate clearly at the end. So if you found this content helpful, click that like button and subscribe for more content. In the comments below, I would love to hear your best tips for managing stakeholder expectations around timelines. That's all I got for you today. Lazy BA out.